Dear child, the evenings have grown heavy for you lately. You finish what must be finished. Set your phone down, move through the room, and still do not quite know what to do with your own heart. There has been a kind of tiredness sitting behind your eyes. Not dramatic, just deep enough to make inward, music, things feel difficult. So when the quiet comes, you feel it quickly. One more task, one more video, one more small delay before facing the silence that has started to feel uncomfortable. Beloved, you have noticed it. The way you turn away just when you sense me near. The way a thought of me rises and you brush past it as if one more moment will somehow make it easier later. But later has kept becoming later. And under all of that delay, there has been a thought you hardly wanted to admit. If I stop long enough, what if all I feel is music, guilt? If I listen closely, what if all I hear is what I have failed to do? If I turn back now, what if I find disappointment waiting for me? Dear heart, that is why I am speaking so gently. Because you have mistaken my music nearness for accusation. You have confused my invitation with pressure. You have heard concern in the tone of someone who only wants to wound. When all along I have been speaking as one who loves you. When I ask why are you not answering me, I am not demanding a defense. I am not summoning you to explain yourself under a harsh light. I am not asking because I have grown cold. I am asking the way love asks when it, music, misses the sound of someone dear. Precious one. I have felt your hesitation. I have watched you carry whole days with your shoulders tight and your spirit tucked away. I have watched you speak kindly to others while keeping your own inner room closed. I have watched you reach the edge of a moment with me, then pull back, not because you did not care, but because caring felt too vulnerable. And still I have not stopped leaning toward you. My dear one, you think your silence has created, music, distance. But silence does not erase belonging. A quiet, music, season does not cancel love. Your uncertainty does not make me less tender toward you. Even now, I know the thoughts that have sat in the back of your mind. I have been absent too long. I should have returned sooner. Maybe I have drifted farther than I meant to. Maybe he is tired of waiting. Sweet soul, music, listen carefully. I have never sat in watchfulness over you with irritation in my heart. I have never counted your delays the way wounded pride keeps count. I have never confused your weariness with rejection. I know what fatigue does to a person. I know, music, how disappointment can turn inward and become avoidance. I know how shame can make even a gentle voice sound frightening. Loved one, you did not stop responding because love vanished from you. You became overwhelmed. Music, you became guarded. You became afraid that if you paused long enough to hear me clearly, all the feelings you had postponed would come rushing back at once. So you stayed busy. So you stayed distracted. So you called it being occupied when underneath it you were really protecting a sore place. My child, I am not speaking to shame you for the door being closed. I am speaking because I still stand near it. I have not walked away because of the quiet on your side. I have not said come back when your emotions are sorted out. I have not said come back when your thoughts are cleaner. I have not said come back when you can meet me with a brighter face. No, I am here for the version of you that feels thin, hesitant, unsure what to say. Beloved, sometimes a person stops replying not because they no longer care, but because they do not know how to restart the conversation. The longer the pause goes on, the heavier it feels. The mind begins, music, to build stories. Now it is awkward. Now it is too late. Now too much time has passed. Now I owe something large before I can begin again. Dear heart, music, that is one of the quiet cruelties of shame. It turns a simple return into a mountain. It turns, music, one honest moment into something that feels impossible. It takes an open, music, path and paints it as though it were blocked. But it is not blocked. It has never been blocked. Precious one, you do not need a perfect explanation for why, music, you have been distant. You do not need a speech prepared in advance. You do not need to arrive with music, beautiful words. You do not need to prove that your heart still cares by feeling deeply on command. All you need is music, honesty enough to stop pretending. That is where peace begins. My dear one, I would rather hear one plain, music, sentence from your true self than 1,000 polished lines that hide your real condition. I would rather hear, I have been avoiding this. I would rather hear, I do not know how to come close again. I would rather hear, I am tired and part of me is afraid you will be disappointed in me. I would rather hear the rough truth than the silence that comes from trying to appear fine. Sweet soul, I already know what has made your inner life feel harder. There have been disappointments you never fully unpacked. There have been prayers that seemed to stretch into unanswered space. There have been responsibilities that consumed your attention until your heart felt like the last thing on the list. There has been loneliness, too, though you do not always call it by that name. A loneliness in carrying your thoughts without feeling safe enough to set them down. Loved one, I know the weight of what you, music, have been holding. And I know this too. What you most need from me right now is not a lecture. It is safety. It is relief. It is a music place where you do not have to defend yourself for being human. My child, when I ask why you have not replied, I am not asking from wounded ego. I am asking from love, music, that still desires your company. I miss your unguarded heart. I miss the part of you that once turned toward me without rehearsing. I miss the simple nearness you, music, were created to live in. And yes, I know you miss it too. Not because you have said so plainly, because I can feel how your spirit has, music, been aching underneath all the noise. Beloved, there is a difference between rebellion and exhaustion. A difference between contempt and pain. A difference between someone who does not care and someone who cares so much they do not know what to do with all they are feeling. You have judged yourself harshly. I have not. You have called yourself distant, music, with a hard voice. I have called you dear with a steady one. You have looked at your silence and assumed failure. I have looked at your silence and seen hurt. Dear heart, that changes the way I speak to you. Because hurt does not need scolding. It needs gentleness. It needs patience. It needs room to come out from hiding without fear of being struck. So I am not crowding you. I am not cornering, music, you. I am not forcing open what has been shut tight. I am staying near enough that when you are ready, music, to turn even slightly, you will find warmth, not reproach. Precious one, I know how, music, easy it has been to believe the worst. To think he must be frustrated with me. To think I have ignored too many nudges. Music, to think I would have to become a better version of myself first and then maybe I could return. But that is not how love works. Love does not wait at a distance for, music, improvement. Love comes closer to the trembling places. Love stays present when a person is unsure. Love makes room for halting, music, words, late replies, and tears that never quite form. My dear one, you have not lost access to me because you took too long. You have not worn out my patience because your heart got tangled. You have not become less wanted because your thoughts have been scattered. You are still deeply wanted here, still invited, still held in regard with more tenderness, music, than you know how to imagine. Sweet soul, perhaps what has made this harder is that you expected yourself to come back all at once. You expected a surge, a wave of emotion, a clear breakthrough, a sudden readiness. And because that did not happen, you assumed the way back was still closed. But, music, restoration often begins smaller, quieter, less dramatic than people think. Music, sometimes it begins with admitting you have been running. Sometimes it begins with sitting still for one honest minute. Sometimes it begins with no grand words, music, at all, only a soft inward turning that says, I am here even though I feel clumsy. Loved one, do not despise small returning.